Hello and welcome. You're looking live at South Ardmore Park for today's Pennsylvania special on BFA Sports. Doug Stasic joined alongside Keith Jacobs, and man, oh man, beautiful day for baseball here as we got Ridley versus Lower Merion.
Oh, gorgeous day for baseball, absolutely. And we're looking at a matchup of a 7-11 team over at Lower Merion who are really just trying to get this game out for pride. And then 9-9 Ridley Raiders team who are actually right on the cusp of a possible playoff berth, looking to try to make a statement today.
All right, well, let's take a look here at the Ridley lineup.
Ridley lineup for today. We have Gavin Severa batting in the leadoff spot, playing center field. Throwing today on the mound for the Raiders, we have Mike Happerset batting second, batting third, first baseman Frank Gallo, batting fourth, the third baseman Andrew Rolls. DHing today and batting in the fifth spot is Dan Stickney, batting sixth and playing shortstop is Jeremy Stranix, batting seventh and playing right field is Mike Hooker, batting eighth and playing the catcher's position today is Brian Zilk, and the second baseman today and batting ninth will be Matt Milikiev, and actually not hitting but playing left field today is Ryan McNichol.
All right, we'll take a look at the Lower Merion defense. Out in the outfield, left to right, you have Josh McCormick, Ben Wolf, and Elon Tauber, and at third will be Ben Birch, Matt Rinaldi at short, Alex Gibbon at second, Danny Hofferman at first. You had mentioned Max Rogers, and the starting pitcher, Jake Krimsky.
Jake Krimsky, 32 and a third innings, 7 games total, 4 starts, 3-1 in a minuscule 1.51 ERA. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he only has 7 walks total in 32 and a third innings. Not a high strikeout guy with only 20 Ks in those 32 and a third, but certainly throws a lot of strikes, and guys are going to put the ball in play against him. But obviously, of course, having a great season pitching to contact the way that he has been. And Severa will dig now into the box.
We're ready for baseball.
First pitch, and he lays down a bunt down the third base line. They will get it fair. Throw on the run is not in time.
Well, surprise element. Waste no time. First pitch. This one's money.
Yeah, really aggressive right there with a good bunt down the third base line. Almost kind of shocked right there on that play that Birch decided to not attempt to let that ball go foul, but made the aggressive attempt to trying to get a throw on the run to first base. Now Mike Happerset, the pitcher. Batting from the left side, in there for a strike on the first pitch, and it is 0-1. Happerset, as we mentioned, is the pitcher today, but he can also rake. He's hitting 400 on the year with a 455 on base. Throw over to first, checked in. 18 games, he's got 14 RBIs and 9 runs scored. So the kid can swing it from the left side of the plate as well as throw it on the mound. As mentioned earlier, he'll be the starting pitcher. Quick pitch, runner going to second, throw down is wild, and it'll go and kick away from the second baseman, and they'll run to third, and he is safe. Severa taking advantage of good wheels right there, a misplay on the throw down by Rogers, and now we have a runner in scoring position early on in this game.
Hey, no hesitation. You're going to be aggressive, try to put the pressure on them early, and that's exactly what's going on here.
So now an early opportunity for Happerset to get himself an RBI. That one is hit down the left field line, hit pretty well, and it's going to go foul.
Yeah, interesting dynamic. You're out here in the middle of a park, so you kind of have the trees that are hanging a bit over into fair territory, so the umpire is going to have their hands filled as well, but nice hustle by the left fielder.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more difficult to track as an outfielder as well. You have to judge not only when you're getting closer to those trees, but also you have to judge when the ball is going to be able to hit the trees as well. So the catcher really has a big responsibility to make sure that he is directing traffic out there. That one just misses inside, good spot. And the pitch. That one misses outside. Two ball, 2 strike count now on Happerset with Gallo waiting on deck. Decisive count again. Krimsky's not a big strikeout pitcher, so we'll see. Big breaking ball hit into left field, should be playable. And making the catch is McCormick. Here comes Severa to the plate, and he will score the game's first run. Sacrifice fly, Mike Happerset getting himself some run support. Right. And early on, it is 1-0 Ridley. Yeah,
and right here we got a great view from behind home plate, but also it's all the dust you can eat, so you gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean that's that's going to be great all game long if we're going to have a lot of people sliding in.
Well, it's all part of the experience.
Oh yeah, it's a great experience.
Yeah, if you want the Diamond Club seats, you got to be willing to get hit with some of the polish.
Yeah, and if if it gets in your eye every now and then so be it. It's that's just a part of the game. Gallo swinging aggressively on the first pitch, pops that one out of reach.
So this Ridley lineup, they're wasting no time. Aggressive here early in the count. They're smelling fastball, and it's like trying to grab that Halloween candy. Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you have a guy out there, obviously in Krimsky, as we know, he throws a lot of strikes, not going to strike you out. So you got to be able to jump early in the count on that first pitch. You get a good fastball to see you go ahead and swing it. Gallo shies away from an inside fastball, barely misses nicking him on the jersey right there. And it's a 1-1 count. Gallo hitting .310 on the year with 16 runs driven in. Big breaking ball smoked into left field, hit well over McCormick's head. That one's going to keep rolling. Gallo's going to round first, heading for second, and he's going to stop there with a one-out double.
Whew. Ridley fired up. He got a hold of that one, turned on it, and a lot of real estate out here in South Ardmore Park.
Oh, yeah.
But he limited the damage, able to keep the runner at second off the hit. I thought it could have been worse.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get a breaking ball trying to throw that in for a 1-1 strike and, leaves it up in the zone a little bit. Gallo doing a good job staying back on that pitch. Just going right with it, driving. And now we bring up the four-hitter Andrew Rolls, batting .368. Big swing and a miss on a first pitch cut, foul tip. Andrew trying to drive in his 8th run batted in on the season. Has a really good opportunity to do so with Gallo standing over at second base now. 0-1. Misses low. Misses low. Well, for a team who is very aggressive early on in the count, they certainly have a good amount of plate discipline when it comes to those borderline pitches, or they have a tendency. I understand it's early on in the game, granted, but they are not giving in to those pitchers' pitches, much like that one. It's now 2-1.
Yeah, they clearly have a game plan here. They're sticking with it, and it's fine fastball. So maybe we will see Coach Tim Gunn get Krimsky to start pitching, as we call it, reverse. Start with more off-speed early in the count.
2-1. Popped foul way out of play off to the left. Stickney waiting on deck, 2-2 count. Gallo over at second base. And the 2-2. Big swing and a miss on a high fastball. And that's the first out of the inning. And now we go to number 5 hitter, the DH, Dan Stickney, stepping up to the plate. Again, an RBI situation. Big breaking ball leaves it just up. Krimsky's a lanky guy, all arms and legs coming at you. Certainly has the ability to deceive you with the fastball speed coming out of his hand. It looks much, much faster than it actually might read. We obviously don't have a radar gun in front of us. Misses up. 2-0. Fouls that one off on the hands. Certainly a good thing when you can find a pitcher like Krimsky, who is definitely not afraid to challenge hitters, one, in the strike zone, but two, challenge them inside. We've seen a good amount of inside fastballs so far to a lot of these hitters.
Right now he's trying to induce ground ball. Got a runner at second base, one out, hoping to pull it to the right side. And at this point, Lower Merion looking to take the out. The Aces trying to stay sharp here early.
2-1 misses high and outside, now 3-1. Stranik's waiting on deck, and Hooker in the hole at the moment. Good hitters count for the DH. Checking in at a .368 average, and he swings and fouls that one off the cage. Here's the 3-2. Hit shallow center, and the shortstop gets turned around, and it ends up falling in, and the run's going to end up scoring. So a ball that kind of tied up the shortstop a little bit. Rinaldi ended up trying to go out to catch that ball back behind second base, but got turned around, and it ended up falling in behind him, and that's going to give Ridley a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. Kind of got caught in no man's land, got turned around, almost like that basket catch, Willie Mays style, but looked good to be an NFL receiver, but a very tough play to make on a baseball standpoint.
That one's fouled off. Yeah, it's certainly a difficult play. Obviously, there's the communication that has to come in with the center fielder right there who's going to be charging on that play, but also you have to figure out second base, does he have a better angle to go catch that baseball? Now, I do love the aggressiveness, obviously, by the shortstop on that play. Trying to go make a play for his pitcher. That one nails the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, good credit to Krimsky. Nothing is affecting him right now. He's just keeping his cool, going right back at it. 2 runs, no big deal. Let's try to get this third out and then give the Aces an opportunity with the bats here in the bottom part of the frame.
0-2 misses high. Yeah, certainly when you have a couple of balls that don't necessarily go your way as a pitcher, the important thing, you just got to make sure to stay grounded and keep filling up the zone. A lot of times what you see from these younger pitchers, they have these problems with getting in their own head. Breaking ball in the dirt. And the runner will take second base on that play. Good dirt ball read there by Stickney. So I love the composure here by Krimsky. He continues to fire the strike zone. Continues to fill it up. Looks poised. Got to give him a lot of credit. Fastball grounded to the third base side. Should be an easy play. Throw across the diamond, and that'll retire the side. But not before the Ridley Raiders get a couple of runs. Run support on the sac fly from Mike Happerset, and a bloop single by Stickney makes it a 2-0 Ridley lead. All right, welcome back here as we have a 2-0 lead early on for Ridley, and the new pitcher, well, the starting pitcher today for Ridley is going to be Mike Happerset, who drove himself in a run on a sac fly back in the first inning, already giving himself some early run support in the game. Happerset coming into this one, 38 2/3 innings pitched, 7 starts, 1-0 with a 2.35 ERA, 46 strikeouts, and 11 walks. And now we take a look at the lineup for Lower Merion. Batting first and playing shortstop is Matt Rinaldi. Batting second and playing right field is Elon Tauber. Batting third and playing second base is Alex Gibson. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Josh Mccormick. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Danny Hofferman. Batting sixth, the DH, Zeke Myers. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Ben Wolf. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Ben Birch. And batting ninth is the catcher, Max Rogers.
And the Ridley defense, left to right, McNichol, Severa, Hooker in the outfield, Rolls in the hot corner, Stranix and Malakavi in the middle. You got Gallo at first, Happerset is your pitcher, and Zilke behind the dish. We are ready to go here in the bottom half of the first.
Leadoff man for the Aces is going to be Matt Rinaldi, the shortstop. First pitch from Happerset is a strike at the knees. Again, Happerset drove himself in a run on a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. Ridley scored 2 runs in that inning, one on the sacrifice fly and then another on a Dan Stickney bloop single. Ground ball hit sharply, takes a bad hop, and it's going to go into left field. For a leadoff single for Rinaldi, who takes a big wide turn. And Matt Rinaldi certainly a big part of this team, batting leadoff there, swinging aggressively on the 0-1 pitch.
Hey, he turned on that one, knows his team's down 2 runs. What better way to make something happen? Be aggressive, find the pitch, don't get put in a hole. Excellent execution. Aces are in business.
Elon Tauber now's the hitter, batting left-handed. First pitch swinging, and that's going to be catcher's interference is going to be the call. As you can see that the glove of the catcher flew kind of out in front of the plate right there, and Tauber's going to get a free base out of it.
Definitely had a funky sound to it. Not your typical metal alloy / composite, but that had more or less a thud. Nah. It's tough, right? Because even here, the backstop, a little bit of a short porch.
Yeah.
At South Ardmore, can appreciate catchers a little bit closer than what he might normally be. All right. Man, we have all kinds of people right in the middle of the camera.
Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do.
We got, oh, there we go. First base coach moved over for us. Appreciate that.
Alex Gibbon now the hitter, and he punches a fastball down the right field line, shallow into foul territory. Coming on to make the catch, and the throw down to third is a good one. Now the throw back to second, and he gets underneath the tag. Really aggressive base running there by Lower Merion. 2 runners tagging up there on a fly ball foul, and now they're able to get second and third here with just 1 out.
Yeah, give Ridley credit. Went into foul territory, shaded area just outside the batting cage, but even more importantly, knowing that he was running out of play, the Aces heads up base running, and now 2 runners on the pond.
And now here's McCormick. Cuts at a high fastball, and it's 0-1.
I think he's hungry. I'm not really sure if there's an all-you-can-eat buffet around here, but that swing says I'm starving.
Oh, we're going to have to find him one. We're certainly going to have to find him one. 383 average on the year for Josh McCormick, the second leading hitter. There's a breaking ball that misses low.
And I believe if my intel is correct, he homered the first time they played against this squad. So a little bit of a rivalry series. So maybe that's why he's a little thirsty.
Here's the pitch, and it is sliced foul down the left field line, going to go out of play. The trees. 383, 540, and 553. That is the slash line for Josh McCormick this year.
Whew.
1093 OPS. Is that any good?
I take it out all day long.
Is that any good?
6 ways after Sunday, sure.
Steps off here.
Yeah, kind of unique lines for our broadcast because of how far this fence line goes down. Not a lot of foul territory, so it's a tight field.
Fouls that one off.
So as you can see, usually our third base cameras are set up right next to the bag, but from a safety standpoint, we're a little deeper than normal.
Yeah. Well, it's tougher when they smack a field right in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
0-2. Breaking ball kind of loses control of it, ends up going behind him.
Yeah, the breaking ball that was just missing the break.
Just a ball there. Just let that one get away from him a little bit. Tried to overthrow that pitch. Here's the 1-2. Throws another breaking ball, and it catches the inside corner.
Ooh, Lordy. That was dirty. Even more so than the dust kicking off behind home plate back here. Give him credit.
Oof. I mean, that's a tough pitch to do anything with right there if you're McCormick. I mean, you get a breaking ball lefty on lefty that starts at your shoulder, ends up going back over the middle. You're sitting on the idea that that ball's probably going to end up hitting you for the first 50 feet.
Yeah.
Now Hofferman with 2 down. Fastball misses high. Really, really important as far as the momentum standpoint for Lower Merion that they're able to get at least one of these runs in here. They'll probably be able to get in 2, as you can see that the outfield is pretty deep. Fastball misses high, 2-0.
2-out opportunity here. It's where you don't want to be too aggressive because there's only one thing you want to do, and that's get a hit. So you're not going to try to chase. Try not to maybe overswing at a pitch you wouldn't normally do, but tough spot to be in. Oh, that's a nice
hit
ride.
Well in right field, going down the line, and it is caught. And Lower Merion's going to strand 2 runners on. That'll retire the side. We go to the top of the 2nd inning. Ridley, 2-0 over Lower Merion. Welcome back. Top of the 2nd inning now as Ridley continues to hold their 2-0 lead over Lower Merion despite Lower Merion's best efforts to reverse that in the last inning. They were able to get 2nd and 3rd at one point with 1 out, but were not able to cash in on the potential RBI opportunities, and now Jake Krimsky will go back to the mound.
Krimsky was unfazed. You know, they got a couple hits there, but it was really the aggressive base running that put Ridley in a great spot. They were able to capitalize, but didn't seem to phase them. Krimsky took a deep breath, went right back to work, flooded the zone, and, hey, the Aces had an opportunity. He had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Yeah.
Couldn't cash in to tie this one up. Who knows if that might be something we'll look back on in a few innings.
Yeah. You know, it's tough when you get a leadoff single, obviously, on a really, really hard hit ball, catcher's interference, normally things like that. And on top of that, too, you get a play down the right field line. They hit. Both runners are able to tag up on a fly ball in foul territory. I mean, you have situations like that where, you know, you just got to be able to push through and get that momentum and get that big swing. And I think really the turning point in that inning was the strikeout of Josh McCormick. It's such a big hitter to take down in that situation.
Yeah, they got him being aggressive. And, I mean, that's as simple as it was.
Leadoff man is the DH Zeke Myers, and he takes one low. It'll be Myers, Wolf, and Birch here in the top of the 2nd inning for Ridley, again holding a 2-0 lead. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and a miss. That one misses low and away. 2-1. One is, just a little inside, and you can see Krimsky has a little bit of an issue with that one there.
The 50-50 pitch. I've never won many of those raffles in my day, and so you see a lot of those tickets have to get pulled when it comes to calling strikes.
You win some, you lose some, you know. That one misses inside, and a leadoff walk now to Myers. And, you know, it's 2-1 borderline pitches like that when you get, you know, yourself into a 3-run count where you can kind of lose sight of an inning, honestly. That does tend to happen sometimes where guys get these kind of borderline calls that don't go their way, and then, it sort of gets in their head. And I'm interested to see the way that Krimsky is able to respond from something like that. Foul tipped at the plate. Hitter's going to be Ben Wolf, the center fielder. Ben Wolf. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, scratch that. We have Brian Zielk. I was looking at that. Oh, that's wow.
It happens.
Yeah, well, you know it shouldn't. Pick-off throw over to first. Time. Okay, so all right. Okay, well, now I've got that all settled. There we go. Oh, 1. Gets the call there on that inside pitch. Good fastball right there, and it's 0-2. Up in on the hands, not really a whole lot that you're going to be able to do with that as a hitter if you're not looking to turn on an inside fastball there, especially up and in. Got to be able to keep your hands so far inside the ball. Another pickoff throw. Oh, 2. Breaking ball in the dirt. It skips in front. Runner heading down to second, and he's going to make it there safely. And again,
as soon as he saw dirt, he went.
Yeah.
No hesitation. Good first step.
Yeah, very, very good aggressive base running there by Hooker. Seeing the dirt ball read, you see, especially with a breaking ball, it's so much easier because you can kind of look at the plane of where it's going to break, and you can kind of anticipate whether it's going to bounce directly in front, off to the side. You can see that much easier because you have more time. And that's back-to-back innings now where you've had excellent dirt ball reads getting guys into scoring position. And we'll see now if the Raiders are able to capitalize.
Well, you've seen it at the collegiate level. I mean, the reality of it is you got to take every single base when the opportunity strikes.
Swing and a miss. Good high fastball strikes out Zielk. And now Matt Millikiv. First pitch squares around a bunt right in front of the plate. Krimsky fields, throws to first, and it is in time to get him. Run will move over to third base. Good sacrifice bunt there by Millikiv. And now a runner on third base with less than 2 outs for Ridley as we go back to the top of the order. Gavin Severa, who led off the ball game with a single and ended up scoring on a Mike Happersett sac fly. First pitch gets a big breaking ball, lands on the outside corner for a strike. Good approach right there considering how aggressive they've been early on in this game. You pitch backwards there with a breaking ball. Not something that you're going to anticipate as a hitter, and you get ahead 0-1. Change up kind of stays up in the zone right there, and it's 1-1. Severa standing in a gaudy .473 batting average coming into the game. Fastball pulls way off, and it's outside. And it's 2-1. That one pulls outside, and it's 3-1. And again, not necessarily the worst thing here if you walk him because you have the double play in order. But then again, you do have Happer set up at the plate who has a knack for driving in runs. Drove in the first run of the game on a sac fly back in the first. 3-1, and it just misses on the outside corner, and Krimsky can't really believe it. And now that's going to put first and third with 1 out here in the inning. Again, double play is in order. Mike Happer sets the hitter. Sac fly to left field back in the first inning, getting himself some run support. Here's the first pitch, and that one's hit well. To shortstop, they get the play at second, and that'll retire. That'll retire the side. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. Ridley leaves a couple of runners stranded. They still lead 2-0. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning. Ridley up with a 2-0 lead, as we do have Zeke Myers, Ben Wolf, and Ben Birch coming up for Lower Merion as they try to scratch some runs up on the board. Krimsky was able to get out of a little bit of a jam in the last half inning.
Yeah, runners at second and third. The Aces were knocking on the door, but couldn't get them to deal the hand that would win them 2 runs. Perhaps it can happen here in the second.
Leadoff hitter is going to be the DH, Zeke Myers. First pitch from Happersett is ground ball, slow to short. Across the diamond we go, and Stranix gets the assist for the first out of the inning.
That's what you call high efficiency. Makes a coach smile.
You get a guy aggressive on that first pitch right there. I don't know. If it were me, I probably would have considered maybe taking a strike or two there. You know, you want to kind of work the count, get some base runners on. I know it's early on in the game, but, you know, with Happersett's stuff, there's certainly not going to be a lot of opportunities. Bunt right back to Happersett, turns around, makes an easy throw to first base, and just like that, there's 2 quick outs here in the inning.
Try to catch him by surprise, maybe utilize a little bit of speed there, but nonetheless, PFP, field your position, trust your defense.
Yeah.
2 in the books.
Yeah. I get the idea. You want to try to angle that down the third base line. Makes it a very, very easy routine play right there for Happersett. Here's Ben Birch, who takes one in for a strike. Good breaking ball, but it misses low. Really sharp breaking ball right there by Happersett. Here's the 1-1. That one misses inside, 2-1. Big swing and a miss. Good pitch right there by Happersett. And it's 2-2. Go a number of different directions here. Max Rogers waiting on deck, and then the top of the order. Here's the 2-2. Good pitch. Catches the inside corner for strike 3. 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the second for Mike Happersett.
Ooh, talk about dealing.
Really great stuff showcased by this young man in the first 2 innings. We go to the top of the third. Ridley maintains their 2-0 advantage. Top of the third inning, welcome back. 2-0 advantage still maintained by Ridley. 3-4-5 coming up for Ridley in their top half of the third inning as Jake Krimsky goes back to the mound. And Krimsky, he's had his fair share of base runners so far in this game. He walked 2 last inning. He's had 5 total on base. Luckily, he's only given up just 2 runs so far early on in the game.
Well, he's found his composure when he needed it the most. Again, knocking on the door. Aces left 2 on and runners in scoring position. Didn't seem to phase him. He comes back out, goes right back to work. Get him up, get him down. No runs. Now he's going to have to do it again.
Yeah. Well, you certainly love the composure, and you know, obviously that's going to give your offense a little bit of a kick, knowing that nothing is really going to phase him out there, and they're going to have an opportunity no matter what happens to stay in the game. Here's Frank Gallo. He'll lead it off. It'll be, again, 3-4-5 coming up for Ridley here in the top of the half of the third inning. First pitch fastball at the knees in there for a strike. Gallo doubled in his last at-bat. It ended up scoring on the bloop hit by Dan Stickney. Big breaking ball popped up high in the air, and that'll go out of play.
I thought we were going to get a souvenir there for a second.
You know, I was standing up, kind of like getting myself ready to catch the ball there. I was. And then I kind of forgot that there was like an angle with the backstop.
It's where it just takes over, that the Rutgers Scarlet Raptor in you.
It doesn't leave you. It doesn't leave you. Here's the 0-2. Hit hard up the middle, and it's off the glove of Gibbon at second base, and that'll allow Gallo to reach base.
Tough hop there. Walked out during pregame. Outfield grass a little bit long. Infield grass, not so much, but it looks like it caught the lip there on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a tough one, you know, because that one's going up the middle, and it's not hit soft enough for you to be able to charge that ball. So you have to make sure that you're getting around it, but also playing that tough hop can be very, very difficult on a backhand. First pitch swinging aggressively, and he fouls that one off the backstop. Andrew Rolls is now the hitter, the number 4 hitter. Struck out in his last at-bat. Big breaking ball hit into left field. McCormick coming on, going out is Rinaldi. Neither of them will be able to get it. It'll fall in between. And now runners on first and second here early in the top of the third. Now with Ridley finding to get more runs across for Apperset.
Yeah, so Ridley, not sure if any of these guys are on the golf team, but they have actually found some open space with some of these balls that have been hitting to the outfield and falling in.
Oh yeah. I mean, case in point, the RBI by Stickney back in the first inning. I mean, that's a shallow bloop back behind second base, and that's able to drive in a run. Then you get another one kind of sliced off the end of the bat right there, able to find some grass. First pitch misses low to Stickney, who drove in the second run of the game back in the first inning. On again, the aforementioned bloop single that went behind the second base bag. Another early threat for Jake Krimsky to have to work through. Fastball inside, fouled off.
Shouldn't have doubted myself. I had lost track of the count there for a second, pal.
1-1. Now Stickney squares around a bunt. Pitch is bunted, but it's going to go foul. And now they're going to call him out. They're going to say that Stickney's foot was on top of the plate when he went to go bunt the baseball. And so that's kind of a break here for Lower Merion. That's going to be the first out of the inning.
First out of the inning, got runners at first and second. The doctor is trying to order a grounder that can go to a double play, maybe a little 4-6-3 action.
Yeah, hopefully, and that could really lead to a big kind of momentum shift here for Krimsky as he tries to dial back in. Fastball grounded, could be 2. Throw to second for 1, but it's gonna carry him off of his glove. It's kind of a low throw right there by Rinaldi. He tried to dig it out and come up with it, but it ended up carrying him away from him, and that's gonna get the bases loaded here for Ridley.
Well, you could taste it. He felt the ground ball double play come in there, but maybe rushed it just slightly.
Yeah.
And again, it happens. And a bit of a sandbox here in this infield. You know, there's a lot of dust kicking up, and not sure what his footing might have been like on that either.
So now Krimsky's going to have to bear down with the bases loaded and just one out in the inning. And that one misses a little bit low. Hitter's going to be Mike Hooker now with the bases loaded. Hit well and just over the head of Gibbon into right center field for a base hit. One run's going to score, and the other runners are going to move up 90 feet respectively. So a well-hit ball right there by Hooker ends up driving in the third run of the game for Ridley.
They're doing a real nice job of hitting the baseball when it matters the most, and that's when the runners are in scoring position. So one out, now 3-0 lead for Ridley.
Here's Brian Zilko, struck out back in the second inning. Ground ball chopped to short, could be two, possibly just one. Nice play on a jump throw by Rinaldi. What an excellent play. First of all, to be able to grab that ball on a high hop on the backhand in the hole the way that he did, and then make a strong, accurate throw to second base on a little bit of a hop, Derek Jeter-esque type of throw right there. Really, really impressive job by the Lower Merion shortstop.
Yeah, nice job. Stay down on the baseball. And for Ridley, they'll trade the out for a run.
Absolutely.
Now 4-0.
Here's Matt Millikiv, who laid down a sacrifice bunt in his last at-bat, looking to try to drive home the runner on third. First and third here with two down, top of the order looming. And Krimsky just trying to get out of this inning with as little damage as possible. That one kind of gets away from him up in the zone.
You hear one of the faithful here call a little chin music up here.
Yeah. It's loud and right in your ear. That one hits the outside corner. Good pump fake there by the catcher to try to deke out the runner at third. And now second and third on the base taken right there. Fouled off. Counts 1-2. Huge at bat now here with two runners in scoring position, two outs, a 1-2 count to Millikiv with Gavin Severa waiting on deck. And the pitch. That one misses way upstairs. And for the most part, when Krimsky has gotten runners in scoring position, he has a little bit of a tendency to overthrow that fastball. You get into a situation here where you kind of just want to blow the ball by hitters. Could be partially out of frustration. Here's the 2-2. Inside, nicks it for strike three. Millikiv can't believe it, but Ridley puts up 2 runs in the process, and they now take a 4-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Welcome back to South Ardmore Park. Ridley tacking on 2 additional runs in the top half of the third inning on a Mike Hooker single and a Brian Zilk fielder's choice ground ball. They now make it a 4-0 lead, as it'll be 9-1-2 coming up for Lower Merion, starting with Max Rogers, the number 9 hitter. Mike Happersett back to the mound now with an additional 2 runs of insurance. First pitch fastball in there for a strike.
You had talked earlier looking for Lower Merion show a bit more patience, and that sounds like what they're up against this inning.
Ground ball hit softly to the right side. Gallo will take it himself to the bag for the first out of the inning. And now we go back to the top of the order. Matt Rinaldi, the shortstop. 1 for 1 in this game. He singled on a really hard hit ball down the third base line back in the first. Unfortunately was stranded. First pitch. Breaking ball stays up, but still manages to catch the top part of the zone. And it's 0-1. Back-to-back first pitch strikes by Happersett, and that's what you love to see. Get a couple of runs in the inning, and you want to come out and have a shutdown inning, throw strikes, challenge hitters. Pitch with a lead really is the important thing. Good breaking ball, but it misses low. Here's a 1-1. Ground ball. Hit to the shortstop, Stranix. Good throw across the diamond, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Well, pitch to contact. That's what you're told at this age, night and day. Don't try to dance around it, especially when you got a 4-0 lead. Why try to put a base runner on? Just go and attack them.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, you get in a situation like this, you honestly throw the ball. I don't want to say throw the ball down the middle, but, you know, just fill up the zone, any part of the zone, really. You want to just, they get hits off you, so what? You have a 4-0 advantage for a good reason, and fastball in there for a strike, and now you have a guy in Happersett who's not only settling in, but also your offense has proven that you have the ability to get runs off of Krimsky and put pressure on him as well. That one nails the outside corner. Good pitch, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, that there looked like a trip to Sherman-Williams. Only thing missing was the tape on the corner.
0-2. Misses outside.
A good chase pitch. Gives him something to think about.
Tauber in his last at-bat in the first inning reached base on a catcher's interference call. 1-2. That one's hit softly down the third baseline. Coming in is McNichol, and that ball's going to land just barely fair inside the line. And that's going to be a 2-out bloop single for Tauber.
I'm telling you, it's like it's contagious.
I'll tell you what, ball's not carrying.
Yeah, well, listen, Tauber found some landscaping out there. Nice shot in a little Bermuda triangle, but effective. And this is just what the aces need, right? Get a spark, get on base. Let's make something happen.
Alex Gibbon, now the 3-hitter. Fastball misses up and away. Gibbon flew out down the right field line his last at-bat in foul territory.
There's a look at Tauber. See if they got the old steal sign on.
Throw over to first. Decent move.
Drawing some attention.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't surprise me in this situation if Tauber was on the move here. You want to try to get somebody in scoring position, try to chip away at this lead. Here's the pitch. Tauber is going. Fastball inside. There's going to be no throw.
So nice look there at the BFA Sports side-by-side steel cam. And Tauber, knock it on the door. Now a runner in scoring position. They left runners at second and third in the first. Going to do everything they can to get the winning hand and get a run across.
Again, got to be aggressive here. Got to support your pitcher. Got to show him that his efforts are not in vain. You need to get at least one run here. Just chip into the lead as much as possible. He's still got 4 more innings of baseball left if need be. Long pause and the 1-1. Fastball misses And that is ball 4. So now first and second here with 2 outs as Lower Merion tries to scratch across something together here. And now here is the number 4 hitter, Josh McCormick. McCormick struck out looking on a beautiful curveball back in the first inning. And now a little bit of trouble for Happersett here. 2 on and 2 out. Breaking ball, that one's hit high in the air. Back behind second base out is Millikeef to get it, and he will make the catch and retire the side. So Lower Merion tries to put some pressure on Happersett. 2 runs on, can't capitalize. We go now to the 4th inning. It remains 4-0 Ridley. Top of the 4th inning at South Ardmore Park. Ridley, 4-0 advantage with the top of the order coming up. Gavin Severa, Mike Happersett, and Frank Gallo. As Jake Krimsky goes back out there for his 4th inning of work. Had a little bit of trouble in his last inning, gave up 2 runs back in the first. But for the most part, even though he's had base runners on in this game, he's really held his own, throwing a lot of strikes. And you know, you got to give him credit for the way he's battling out there.
Well, nothing phases Krimsky. I mean, kid also runs cross country, and he's an honors student. So there's ice in his veins. He knows his team needs him to throw strikes to stay in it, and looking for more of the same this frame.
All right. Gavin Severa now will lead it off. He's been on base twice, a single back in the first, a walk back in the second. Fastball just misses the outside corner. And you can kind of get the sense a little bit that Krimsky on those borderline pitches is just kind of not down on himself, but he seems to have a little bit of a change in body language when he's missing on those borderline calls. 1-0. Ground ball fisted off the hands, and it's going to skip over the bag down the third base line. Severa rounds first, heading for second. The throw in is going to be way offline, and it's going to be a leadoff double for Gavin Severa, his 3rd time now reaching base.
Ridley has done an outstanding job all afternoon long getting the leadoff runner on. And not only that, but find a way to get him in scoring position, which is a big reason they're up 4-0.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a shot, though. It had eyes right down the line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ball quite literally squeaked down the line. Like, when I say that this ball was the most borderline down the line hit, I cannot emphasize that enough. Here's Happersett swinging aggressively on the first pitch, fouls that one off. And this is now the 4th inning in a row where Ridley has managed to get runners on in some capacity. And again, you got to give a lot of credit to Krimsky for battling the way that he has. He's been certainly been throwing strikes. That one's hit down the line, slicing, foul.
Into the picnic area. Some guy just saved a bunch of lucky friends.
All right, well, you never want a foul ball to ruin your picnic.
Yeah.
Never ever want to have that happen. You got to keep the sandwiches, the cheese platter, whatever you got going on.
I don't think bruises were on the menu.
They were not, as far as I was told. And I've had a lot of conversations with picnickers today. Here's the pitch. That one's grounded to the right side. Should be a play for Gibbon. Catches it off a hop and makes the throw, and the out is recorded. That's out number 1, but now Severa is going to move over to third base an extra 90 feet. And now the 5th run of the ball game for Ridley is just 90 feet away with the first baseman Frank Gallo up. Gallo's been on base twice. He's scored 2 runs. First pitch swinging, ground ball through the hole, a base hit. That's going to drive in Gavin Severa. RBI single for Frank Gallo. That makes it 5-0 Ridley.
They've just been on point. They find guys in scoring position. I can't say it enough. Good things happen when you put the ball in play. And sure enough, another opportunity and another run.
Here's Andrew Rawls. First pitch just misses the corner. And I mean, look, it's a perfect formula. You know, you got a guy out there in Krimsky, throws a lot of strikes, very efficient inside the strike zone, and they're really taking advantage, jumping on first pitch fastballs, getting a lot of hitters' counts in their favor. That one's hit well, left field. McCormick looking, and he races over to his left, makes the catch. Gallo will go back to first. So 2 down now for the DH Dan Stickney, who was called out in his last at-bat attempting to bunt after stepping on home plate while doing so. 2 out now in the inning. First pitch swinging, pops that one up high in the air, and that's going to go out of play. Now, a minute ago, there was a reliever warming up for Lower Merion in the pen. I believe they've kind of had that settled down at the moment here, especially with 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Very nicely blocked by Rogers, who, aside from bad thrower, too, has been working pretty hard back there today.
Yeah, nice job keeping it in front. Last thing they need is another would-be runner in scoring position. Swing
and a fly ball in a left field, chasing McCormick back, but he settles under it, and he makes the catch. That'll retire the side. So 1 run does get on base. 1 run does score on a Frank Gallo RBI single, and that makes it now 5-0 Ridley as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Hofferman, Myers, and Wolf coming up here in the bottom of the 4th inning for Lower Merion, who is currently sitting down 5-0 to Ridley. Big story in this game is just the aggressiveness of this Ridley offense. They've had multiple runners on base in each of the 4 innings that they've had against Jake Krimsky, and just taking advantage of first pitch fastballs, getting aggressive in the zone, really doing a good job of just finding a way to drive runners in. That's really been the main story in the game. As now Mike Happersett will go back to the mound with a 5-0 advantage. And now here's Hofferman to lead it off. He flew out to right field in his first at-bat. First pitch from Happersett's in there for a strike. I don't have the exact number on me, but if I'm not mistaken, he's got to be over 80% first pitch strikes. Which, again, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's filling up the zone. Fastball misses up and a little bit in. He's showcasing really good stuff. Good command early on in the count with his fastball. Sharp breaking ball, looking more of got a slider action to it, but he's able to keep it down in the zone effectively for the most part. Fastball hit well into the left center field gap. Back goes Severa, and he's not going to get there. It's going to drop in and roll out into the outfield. Now here goes Hofferman heading for third. Cutoff throw is way offline, and it's a leadoff triple. Danny Hofferman jumping on a good pitch to hit there and laces that one into the left center field gap for a leadoff triple, hopefully to start some momentum here for the Lower Merion Aces. And that's going to be the DH Zeke Myers with an RBI opportunity, to which the Aces have yet to capitalize on. They had a couple of opportunities early on in the first inning. Breaking ball misses high and away.
Well, I would say that's just what the doctor ordered for the Aces.
Yeah, you got to now middle of the game. Happerset's, you could see in the last inning that he pitched, he was beginning to kind of settle in. He's obviously had good command for the most part early in this game. That one just misses. So you gotta grind out at bats. You got to be able to capitalize, and this is certainly a big opportunity not only to A, drive and run, but B, just continue to pass the bat. 2-0. Inside, 3-0.
Good job here working.
Ben Wolf waiting on deck, followed by Ben Birch. Here's the 3-0. That one's in there for a strike.
There they are, 90 feet away from the first run for the Aces.
Happerset working hard. 3-1. Big swing and a foul tip back into the catcher's mitt, and it's now 3-2. Just unable to hold on to that one was Zilk.
Not to put pressure on the young bat here, but put it in play. Just put it in play.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Happerset to get him. And that's the first out of the inning.
Well, hopefully the parents will forgive me. I just put the KOD on them in that spot. But nothing wrong with being aggressive, chipping away at this lead, down 5. They can get a couple here in this frame, puts them right back in the driver's seat.
Ground ball foul. In the same breath, though, when you're, Mike Happerset on the mound, it's important that you understand that in these types of situations where they're desperate to scratch across a run, you can take advantage of their aggressiveness. Throw balls out of the strike zone, get them to chase breaking balls. Case in point, strikeout of Myers there. Breaking ball backdoors it, and he fouls it off. And it's a quick 0-2. Wolf tried to bunt in his last at-bat, but ended up hitting it right back to the pitcher.
Yeah, they're breaking out all the stops, trying to catch them off guard, put some pressure on the defense, make them make some plays. But thus far, Ridley has scooped them all up.
Yeah. They've offensively, obviously, we know about the breaks that they've had, having a couple of bloop singles go in here and there. I mean, that Gavin Severa hit down the third base line was about as squeaked in of a fair ball as you can get, but, they take advantage. Ground ball to the left side. That's going to get a run in. Throw across the diamond by Stranix is unable to be scooped out by Gallo, so the runner is not only going to be safe at first base, but Lower Merion drives across their first run of the game. It's now 5-1.
Oh, 5-1. Looking for that frame, put up the crooked number. You got one across, now looking for 2, and plenty of work.
Yeah. Well, ball deep in the hole right there is a good attempt by Stranix to try to get that throw across. I don't believe, just based off the naked eye, that they would have gotten him regardless if Gallo picked the ball. It would have at least been close. Fastball misses high. Ben Birch now the hitter. Throw over to first. Definitely anticipating possible steal situation here, which would definitely make sense. Lower Merion's case, again, trying to get more runners into scoring position as much as possible in this inning. Quick snap throw over to first, and he's able to get in.
A lot of dust, not so much on the water on this field.
It's much better. Oh, not a snap throw. It's much better when the dust is like way over there. It's not exactly the greatest thing for the first base coach standing right on top of that, but I mean, as long as I can see, it's okay. Slow leg lift in, the pitch, fastball misses up and away.
So no lead in high school is a comfortable lead. Curious to know how long they're going to let Happerset go. Because seen him throw a couple balls, give up a couple hits here. This might be the last frame, perhaps.
Fastball misses inside. I think until you see a real change in his command all around, and now granted, we have seen a couple of pitches that have been pretty straight far outside of the zone here, but as long as he's not losing his command in general, there's a 3-0 strike, and as long as you can kind of get a read on whether Lower Merion is going to actually be able to turn a corner or not against him offensively, I would keep him in. He seems to still be throwing strong. That one's fouled off.
And he's battling back here now, 3-2.
Walked just one so far in the game. He's had multiple 3-0 counts that he's battled back from. Here's the 3-2, and they're going to throw over.
He's really doing a nice job managing that run game.
Yeah. Lefties have such a big advantage. It took me probably until like my sophomore year of college to develop a good pickoff move, and lefties have such naturally good moves all the time, and
they hypnotize you.
They do.
They trap you with their eyes. You're sitting there staring. Next thing you know, the ball's on the way back to the bag.
Oh, I've been picked off by my share of lefties in the back in the day. Here's a
Runner
3-2.
goes.
Misses inside for ball 4. Runner was going on the play, but it doesn't matter. And now it's going to be first and second. That's just the second walk that Happerset has allowed, and now they're going to go out and talk to him.
Well, it's just the first sign. He was so efficient those first 3 frames. First time that we've seen him now with multiple base runners.
Yeah.
In the first, it was second and third, but this is really the only second time during the game that it felt as if something's cooking for the Aces.
Yeah. And that changes your mindset when you're cruising through and you're having such a consistent amount of, lack of base runners, I guess I would say, and you're also able to just efficiently throw strikes constantly. When you get into more of a duress type of situation, or you end up giving up that run, now all of a sudden mentally you're kind of switched over to, okay, how am I going to pitch in this situation? How am I going to make sure that there is as little amount of damage as possible? And once you're able to kind of lock back in, you can get yourself mentally ready for that, and it's just just about him being able to mentally turn that corner where he can just go back, lock in, and efficiently throw strikes.
All right, and you are watching Lower Merion Aces baseball here on BFA Sports. Doug Stasic alongside the guy in the play-by-play chair today. That's Keith Jacobs, the recent graduate of Rutgers Camden and former Scarlet Raptor.
Number 9 hitter now is Max Rogers. First and second with 1 out here, and the first pitch. That one's hit high in the air. Should be playable. Milikiv goes out back behind second, and he makes the catch.
That wasn't your typical pop-up play.
Oh, no.
That thing was up there. I had satellite on it. I wasn't sure it was the rocket launch from last night that everybody was watching and posting up on Twitter, but did a fine job of sticking with it and backing up his pitcher.
I wonder if it's trending that Elon Musk sent something up into orbit again. Now back to the top of the order for Matt Rinaldi. Got to capitalize here if you're Lower Merion. You get a couple of runners on against Happerset. You put pressure on them. Got to get at least one more run here. That one's hit high in the air on the first pitch, and that one's going to go out of play.
So now something that's starting to come into play a little bit here in South Ardmore Park. You have the shade of the trees. It's overhanging almost in the cutout just in front of home plate where the grass meets the dirt. And that can be a bit of an advantage to the pitcher, especially as the game goes on.
This is low, and that's going to hit him. So Rinaldi's going to reach base on the hit by pitch, and now the bases are loaded with 2 down.
Well, the Aces have the proverbial full house.
Yeah.
So they're just looking for one hit here to cash some chips in the middle of the table. Had an opportunity, second and third in the first. Had an opportunity with runner at second back in the third.
Yeah, this is such a big moment in this game here. Really has the chance to turn the corner. Fastball misses away. And now in this situation, as Happer set, starting to lose a little bit of control, obviously, from what we've seen. Just needs to settle back in and dial up. That one's hit well, but right at Malakiev, kind of picks it out of the dirt, and that's going to strand the bases loaded for Lower Merion. They had a great opportunity, just couldn't capitalize. They do get one run across, but that's going to be their solitary run. It's 5-1 Ridley. Welcome back to South Ardmore Park. Jake Krimsky's day is done after 4 innings of work, giving up 5 runs on the day. And the new pitcher coming in from right field to showcase his stuff on the mound is Elon Tauber.
Well, he's got a tall order, but ice in his veins, always good first step out there defensively. And the southpaw going to give him a different look. So this ball is going to be breaking in towards their hands, should induce a bunch of ground balls. And there are the 3 batters he will face to start this frame.
It's going to be Jeremy Stranix, Mike Hooker, and Brian Zielk. The pitcher Krimsky is actually going to go out to right field.
Little Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, why not,
Over
right?
the pitcher's mound out to right field. We'll bring your right fielder in and have him play, pitch the ball.
Why not? Jay Krimsky really battled out there for 4 innings. I mean, look, there were obviously a lot of base runners against him, and he did have a bit of a couple of bad breaks that went his way with some bloop singles, but for the most part, he threw a lot of strikes, he battled, and really competed out there to the best of his ability.
Well, and Tauber's going to help himself, as he had a hit already in this game, found some greenery out there in left field, and so now he's going to try to stay efficient. Flood the zone with strikes, keep the ball on the ground, and see if they can get back at the bats. They got 1 run, going to have to chip away. A couple more frames left to hit the ball.
Here's the shortstop, Jeremy Stranix. He'll lead it off here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch swinging, and he fouls that one off to the right. Stranix grounded to third back in the 1st inning and reached on an error back in that big 3rd inning. That one misses low.
Tauber with a high tempo. He's not waiting, getting the ball going right back at it, trying to flood the zone. You can hear the Ridley coaching staff letting the guys know this ball's going to start to run at you a bit different way. You're going to have to adjust.
That one misses inside. Very quick tempo, which you got to give him a lot of credit for. He's doing a really good job at just staying dialed in and getting after it here. That one misses low. Definitely has good run on his pitches, and that's 3-1.
Well, good movement, and the Ridley lineup has been comfortable. So Tauber trying to change that up.
Inside and a leadoff walk to Stranix. And an early base runner, leadoff base runners. That has really been a big issue that the Lower Merion Aces haven't been able to figure out. They've had leadoff base runners in multiple innings today.
Well, when Grandma makes gravy, she likes to use a lot of extra basil. But the ingredients to their success today, the recipe has started with get the leadoff runner on.
Misses low. That's now the 5th consecutive leadoff base runner that the Ridley Raiders have had today. And you want to talk about an offensive recipe for success. That's pretty much where you're going to start. It's
tough. I mean, the good news is you got a lefty-on-lefty matchup here, so I like where Coach Gunn made the switch, knowing that the second batter is going to face lefty on lefty, see if we can get a maybe 4-6-3 double play.
Here's Mike Hooker. Runners going. Throw down to second base is not in time and also offline. A stolen base for Jeremy Stranix. And now yet another runner in scoring position for Ridley. I feel like I've been saying that on repeat like all day long.
It's deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra once said.
Yeah. It's just they just have such a knack for being able to get guys in scoring position. It's really quite incredible. Here's the pitch. That one in there for a strike. Ball was dropped by Rogers. 2-2.
And want to thank the Lower Merion Baseball Booster Club and Coach Tim Gunn for having us out here, making this a memorable event.
Absolutely.
They close out the regular season.
Here's the 2-2. He called time right in the middle of the windup, and you can see that Tauber is not too happy.
No.
Not too happy.
That was really late.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really blame him for not being too happy about that. I mean, as a pitcher, it's one thing when you have a guy and he calls time, but if I'm right in the middle of the windup, ground ball chop foul, and they're gonna award him first base.
Interference again.
Yeah, another catcher's interference call. That's the second catcher's interference call of this game. Now one on each team.
It's just funny that sound twice now.
Yeah.
It's uncanny. Again, it's a park.
Yeah.
So the park setup has that city backstop, and I think the catcher does have this obligation feel of, I got to be a bit closer, because everything's just, right up on him, including the umpire.
It's so rare to have two catcher's interference calls in one game, let alone one on each team. Squares around a bunt. Gets it down. It's a good one down the third baseline. Birch fields it, throws down to first, and they will make the out. But two runners will move into scoring position now on a really, really nice bunt by Brian Zielk.
Fundamental baseball at its best, just what you want to see. Guys in green looking to sacrifice for one another, and all the well-deserved high fives as he comes back into the dugout.
Yeah, and it's not just the clutch hitting, obviously, with the runners in scoring position. It's also doing the right things offensively from a standpoint of moving runners over, working counts, stealing bases that Ridley has been so effective at today.
Yeah. And they're putting pressure. The fact is they're out to a 5-0 lead, trying to make it 6. The reality of it is they could be down 5 runs with just 3 at-bats left.
We're going to see a pinch hitter here. It's going to be number 25, Braden Dean. He's going to pinch hit here for Matt Millikiv. Misses and, ended up calling that one a strike.
That's what we call a pitcher's pitch.
Yes, yeah. Well, certainly not a hitter's pitch, I'll tell you that. Certainly not something he's going to be wanting to swing at.
One of my favorite sayings is being a baseball coach, no matter what the scoreboard says, I always lose.
That one is ripped over the head of Gibbon into right center field for a base hit. One run's going to score. Here comes Hooker now running for the plate, and he will score as well. 2-run pinch hit single for Braden Dean adds to the fire, and Ridley is now up 7-1.
You get these guys on base, you get them in scoring position. They've been electric all day long. They've definitely gotten the circuit all the way around. The scoreboard keeps lighting up.
And well, that right there, I think, honestly, is such a microcosm of really what they've been doing today offensively and how effective they've been. When you can have Braden Dean come up in that situation with 2 runners in scoring position, pinch hitting, and being able to come up clutch like that, drive in 2 runs, that just tells you how locked in they are offensively. Now we go back to the top of the order. Gavin Severa, who's been on base 3 times today, a single, a double, and a walk. Now Millikiv is going to go back into pinch run. Breaking ball. Tries to wrap that one around the outside corner, but just misses.
Tauber doing a real nice job, though. He's staying in the zone, not giving anything that has meat on it across the middle of the plate. He keeps pitching inside to these righties. I like the strategy here.
Misses low. Throw over now to check on Milkeef. Not a big lead over at first base. Here's the pitch. That one's hit out of play and way off to the right in the trees. And now 2-1. Severa looking to be aggressive here. Fastball nicks the inside corner. Good pitch right there. And now it's 2-2. Mike Happersett waiting on deck. A swing, and they're going to say it hit him. That ball came in and hit him. They're going to try to decide if he swung, and the base umpire says no, he did not. So Severa is going to reach base for the 4th time in this game on a hit by pitch on a 2-2 breaking ball.
Oh, not giving up any of the real estate. Staying right there in the box, came inside on the hands, and what do you know?
Yeah. It's a great thing to do for your team right there. Add on more base runners. So here's Mike Happersett.
Just a sophomore, Mike Happersett.
Wow. That one is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1.
So certainly he's going to continue to be a focal point of this Ridley lineup and pitching staff for a few years here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the poise that he's shown today as a sophomore, being able to do what he's done on the mound while also being effective at the plate, it's amazing. Runner goes. Ball is in the dirt, and both runners will get in there without a throw. A double steal by Ridley to put 2 runners in scoring position.
They're not taking their foot off the gas.
Oh, no, they're not.
Continuing to press on, trying to put this one away.
Yeah, and they continue to try to see if Lower Merion is going to be able to try to shut down their momentum, and it just hasn't been able to happen at any point today. That one misses low. Happersett drove in a run back in the 1st inning on a sac fly. Aside from that, has grounded out twice. That one misses way outside, gets away from Rogers, but not so far away that there's going to be any movement by the runners.
As Tauber continues to work, he's another one, just a junior.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of baseball left to be played for the Aces.
And there's a ton of youth on this field. That one is ripped, but right at Gibbon. And they're going to be able to double him up at second base. Severa got off a little too far right there, and they were able to double him off, and that's going to retire the side. But not before Braden Dean drives in 2 runs on a 2-run single to put Ridley up 7-1 as we go to the bottom half. Welcome back to the bottom of the fifth inning here at South Ardmore Park, as it has been all Ridley today in this matchup. They drive in 2 additional runs in the top half of the fifth inning and make it a 7-1 ball game, as it's going to be Alex Gibbon, Josh McCormick, and Danny Hofferman coming up for Lower Merion. Mike Happerset still in the game, and a first pitch ground ball to shortstop for Stranix comes across and makes the easy throw. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Efficiency.
Yeah,
we can't say it enough.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the kid has been really effective today. He had a little bit of a bumpier fourth inning, that I'm sure he would have loved to have avoided, but I mean, he was able to get through it, and for the most part, he's just been so efficient in the zone, doing a really good job at consistently throwing strikes, challenging hitters, and a credit to his defense, mainly Jeremy Stranix, who has been very active over at shortstop today. That one's chopped foul by McCormick, a little bit in on his hands.
McCormick, not a kid looking to talk about his walks on the ride home. He is up there heavy hacking. I love it.
Struck out looking back in the first, flew out back behind second, back in the third. That one dots the outside corner. Really nice pitch. And it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That one's fouled off into the trees off to the left side. Hofferman waiting on deck, followed by Myers.
Again, what a beautiful day out here for baseball at South Ardmore Park. Just about a 5-minute ride from Lower Merion High School.
Outside where the late, great Kobe Bryant went to high school, of course, inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I guess it's hard to be a more famous alum than Kobe Bryant, huh?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that's topping that, really. That one's fouled off again. So good at-bat here by McCormick.
Yeah, just 5 minutes away here from campus. Again, you're watching BFA Sports coverage of Lower Merion baseball. Doug Stasic joined alongside my play-by-play partner, Keith Jacobs.
Another ground ball foul. A really good at-bat being put together here by McCormick as he tries to get something started with 1 out.
He's fighting for his pitch. Nobody on base. Wouldn't be surprised here. Happerset late in the game, 5-run lead. Go to challenge him, instead of trying to pitch him around.
Yeah, really no reason for him to do anything right here than just kind of throw it over the middle. That one skips away from Zilk back there, and it's going to be 3-2. And I mean, with a lead, again, with a lead like this, just throw it, honestly, in this situation, throw it over the middle. If McCormick hits it far, so what? So what? Challenge guys.
McCormick, another junior. This Lower Merion team will be loaded next year.
Oh, yeah, they got a ton of juniors and sophomores just all up and down this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking down the catcher, Max Rogers, he's a sophomore. Wayland, another guy, sophomore. I mean, man, there are a lot of guys.
Here's the 3-2. Good pitch, a swing and a miss. McCormick strikes out for the second time in the game.
Well, Happerset might want some quarters because that pitch was dirty. Probably have to go to a laundromat and help McCormick out because he got him good there.
That was a brilliant, brilliant pitch. Really nice. And to be a sophomore and to have that type of ability on a 3-2 pitch, not only the trust and command on that, as that one just misses a little bit inside, but to be able to throw that pitch and start that pitch over the middle of the plate and have that break away from the hitter, it's just devastating. Fastball in there for a strike, and this kid, I got to tell you, as a sophomore, I'm really impressed.
Well, there's a reason I looked. I'm looking at it in the level of maturity and the presence that he has on the mound. I mean, he's wise beyond his years.
That one just misses inside. This kid is impressive for a sophomore. I am very pleasantly surprised. Here's the 2-1. That one's chopped foul down the third baseline, 2-2.
Oh, look at Tim Gunn with the hot hand over there.
Yeah. Man, you got to show it off.
The pride of St. Joe's University.
Got to show it off every once in a while.
Still got it. That's what he just said. I'm pretty sure I could hear him from here. Still got it. No question.
Hofferman scored the only Lower Merion run of the game after hitting a leadoff triple back in the fourth. Misses low in the dirt.
Good battle here. Talk about Tim Gunn taking over this program at Lower Merion, his fourth year.
Yeah.
4-year letter winner over at St. Joe's.
And that catches the inside corner for strike three. A 1-2-3 inning for Mike Happersett, who continues to deal. Absolutely brilliant pitching performance today by Happersett so far. And we are now going into the top of the sixth inning with Ridley having a commanding lead. Top of the sixth inning here at South Ardmore Park with Ridley, again, just the story of the game, commanding offensive presence from their lineup. They're going to showcase 3, 4, 5, Frank Gallo, Andrew Rolls, and Dan Stickney coming up here in the top of the sixth, all of whom have collectively done damage in their own way, and they're going to continue to do so. Second inning now for Elon Tauber, as he's going to get the meat of the order coming up for Ridley. Gallo has doubled and singled twice, and that is inside, and he just avoids that pitch hitting him in the leg, and it's 1-0.
So Gallo, the senior, headed to Temple University and going to major in accounting.
Misses low, 2-0. Oh man, I could never do accounting. Just never could. Took one accounting class my freshman year in college and was
not for you.
No, to say the least. 2-1.
Well, you could be me. I mean, I work for a bank, and so I was in a position I had to take an accounting class 2 or 3 years ago for some credit training.
Oof.
I was the youngest guy in the class by 20 years.
Oh my God.
It was painful.
That one sliced foul down the right side, and it's 2-2. Breaking ball smacked into center field, but right at Wolf, who makes the catch.
Wow. Sounded good off the bat.
Yeah, hanging breaking ball there on a 2-strike count. Really good job by Gallo going with that pitch. Just right at him. Here's Andrew Rolls. First pitch misses just a little bit low and outside.
So Rolls Jr., he'll be back next year as well. But Ridley has a bit of a playoff run they're hoping to begin in this next week.
As we mentioned earlier in the game, they are pretty much sitting on the cusp right now of a playoff spot. A win would certainly help their case. That one nails the outside part of the plate for a strike, 2-1. And I mean, speaking strictly based off of what we've been seeing today so far, when you got a kid like Happersett on the mound and you can, have an offense as aggressive as these guys have, they could potentially, I know coming in as a lower seed, they could potentially be a dark horse. That one misses in the dirt, picked out by Rogers, and it's now 3-1.
again, Rogers. You got a sophomore, another sophomore behind the plate.
Outside corner nailed, and there's now a 2-strike count.
So these varsity innings that these guys are logging.
Yeah, it's great experience. I mean, especially when you're talking about Lower Merion having as many underclassmen as they have. That one misses high for ball 4. Rolls will reach on a 1-out walk. You know, and I think when you kind of look back at the season for Lower Merion, obviously the record is not where they want to be, as there's going to be a pinch runner coming in for Rolls here. But, you know, the fact that you're getting a lot of these younger guys, a lot of this experience is just going to help them next year when they come in, and, you know, you need these guys to play, you know, quality, high-level varsity innings.
Yeah, and a coach like Tim Gunn with his experience, you know, said 4 at Lower Merion, 6 at the Germantown Friends School. Add that to his time served as a college coach at Arcadia, St. Joe's, and Swarthmore. He understands what potential is, how to shape it, and how to draw the most out of these players. So getting these young guys the experience, he's not really worried about the wins and losses so much right now as in terms of what this is going to build for the future.
Fastball nails the lower part of the zone for a strike now to the DH, Dan Stickney. Pitch on a slide step. Runner was going. That ball's fouled off. Pinch runner for Ridley is the sophomore, number 5, Jake Nauman. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Kind of filleted in a left center field, and that one's going to drop in for a base hit. Nauman kind of hesitated a little bit because he had to see and make sure that ball was going to drop, so he's only going to advance 90 feet. And now Ridley, once again, is base runners on with less than 2 outs. We got first and second now with just 1 out on the board. And a really, really nice piece of hitting there by Stickney. He gets a breaking ball breaking away from him. Doesn't try to do too much. Keeps his shoulder on. Stays with the baseball. Goes into left center field. Now here's Jeremy Stranix. Fastball misses low. Stranix walked his last time.
I always laugh when we have so we have a 2-man crew that umpires in what you call the C position right now because of the runner on base. And when umpires aren't used to being part of a telecast, they're not aware of the camera being out there.
Of course.
So that's why, unfortunately, he's screening us. But we're here for the entertainment purposes, not to try to push the umpire one direction or the other.
At least we could provide the commentary end of it. But, I mean, you know, if we can you want to just move a little bit to the left, I wouldn't be too mad. Swing and a miss on a nice pitch there. And it's 1-2, really taking advantage of some over-aggressiveness by Stranix.
Yeah. And Tauber is really pumped up about it. I mean, he's doing a nice job keeping the ball below the knees, up against the shins. Those are balls that are hard to square up, and so far, he's been able to keep them at bay.
1-2. Chopped up the middle, could potentially be 2. Flip to second for 1, and that's all they'll get.
Well, now runners at the corners. But again, nice job by Tauber. Keep the ball down, keep the ball low, induces the ground out. Thought maybe it was a double play, but I'm telling you, it's a slow track. The grass is a little long, so not surprised to see the shortstop playing up a bit.
Well, Rinaldi certainly has held his own there at the shortstop position. You know, I mentioned earlier how much work Jeremy Stranix is doing over at shortstop. Matt Rinaldi himself is put in a nice amount of work today himself at shortstop. First pitch misses away to Mike Hooker.
Hooker, another junior. So this lineup's going to look real familiar next year.
You know, I swear, when I played high school baseball, our starting lineups were just filled with seniors, and it
was a pecking order.
I don't think I've seen this much youth in a starting lineup in high school baseball in a while. That one misses just outside.
But it speaks to the talent, and I think that's always important too.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point once you elevate from high school, it's not about how long you've been in the position. It's about earning it every single year.
Right.
And the philosophy from the coaching staff, I think it really reinforces that. So Coach Monzo has 7 years now at Ridley. 3 as the assistant, 4 as the head coach.
Runner going. Hooker kind of slaps that one back behind the mound. Rinaldi with a good play, and that'll retire the side.
Well, don't look now. They got another chance to cut away at this lead. They're down 5. We'll see what happens as we come back for the bottom of the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th inning coming up here at South Ardmore Park. We have Myers, Wolf, and Birch coming up in the bottom half of the 6th inning. You see right there on the lineup card. And aside from the dominance of the Ridley offense in this game, one of the biggest stories has been the brilliant pitching performance put on by the sophomore Mike Happersett.
Happersett has just been absolutely as cool as the other side of the pillow, as the late Stuart Scott used to say. He's just calm. I mean, nothing's really rattled him. A little bit of trouble. Runners at second and third in the first, but unless my memory is serving me incorrectly, we haven't seen him in a position where he's had runners get past second base all day long.
Yeah. Had a little bit of trouble in the 4th inning with a couple of walks here and there, but for the most part, he's been very, very good. And now he goes back to work here in the 6th, and a first pitch fastball in there for a strike. Foul back to the screen. I believe we have a pinch hitter here for Lower Merion. Pinch hitter is going to be Sam Wright, number 21. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses, skips in the dirt.
And guess what? Sophomore.
Again, another one?
They just keep growing them out here.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Happersett. Sets him down. That's his 6th strikeout of the game for Happersett.
Yeah, Sam Wright, 2-sport athlete, also plays basketball.
It's now the 3rd consecutive strikeout. And we'll have another pinch hitter, Jaden Maureen. First pitch by Happersett, a fastball for a strike, and that kind of seems like it's been on repeat all day. First pitch strike, first pitch strike. Kid has just been filling up the zone.
Yeah, well, a bit of a send-off here for the senior, headed to Bloomsburg University.
Swinging a miss there on a high fastball, and it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That one misses high, 1-2. Happersett's command, Happersett's presence, his aggressiveness in the strike zone really is just something that you don't see from a sophomore at the varsity level. That's a strikeout there on a high fastball. The 4th consecutive strikeout for Mike Happersett, who just continues to mow down this Lower Merion lineup.
He is in the zone right now. No stopping him. Can only hope to contain him.
That one's hit hard in right center by Birch. That's going to get down for a base hit. Played in front by Severa, and that's going to be a 2-out single.
while trying to get a spark here in the 6th. They got 4 outs.
Pinch hitter is going to be Max Rogers. Oh, it is. Oh, Max Rogers is the hitter.
Yes.
Rather, excuse me. First pitch. That one's hit kind of shallow in a left center field. That will drop in for a base hit. First pitch swinging off the hands by Rogers, and he's able to dunk one back behind the shortstop, and now there's 2 runners on with 2 out.
Well, with 2 outs and 2 runners on, Aces looking to show what they still may have up their sleeve.
Got to give them credit for fighting. I mean, they're being aggressive. They're trying, you know, they're certainly not backing down at this point, even though obviously there's nothing they can really do about the pure dominance that we've seen from Happerset. There's going to be a pinch hitter now from Matt Rinaldi. It's going to be Ben Warren.
Yeah, the senior headed to Dickinson College.
So 2 on, 2 out now for the senior. Happerset looking to try to nip this in the bud here. First pitch swinging, and he cuts and misses on a fastball.
Healthy hacks.
Here's the 0-1. That one is upstairs. That one misses upstairs, 2-1. Couple of arms throwing around in the Lower Merion bullpen. 2-1 inside move. Runners will go back. Come set, and now the 2-1. Swinging a foul back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 to Warren. Fastball swing and a miss upstairs. That'll retire the side. Mike Happerset strikes out the side here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Continues to show his dominance, as does Ridley. All around as a team, they continue to hold their commanding lead. We go to the top of the 7th inning, the final inning, and Ridley, of course, holds a commanding lead. They will have due up in this inning Brian Zielke, Matt Milikiv, and Gavin Severa, 8-9-1. Among the multitude of defensive changes in the game for Lower Merion, the new pitcher is going to be the sophomore Everett Whalen.
know if it's a prerequisite that you had to be a sophomore or a junior, but it seems like that's how it's shaken out. From
I think so. I think so. Honestly, I feel like if you are a sophomore and a junior, they're just going to take you, and they're just going to load up on that, and and that's just going to build a. I imagine having the experience here at that age, they're going to be able to just come in next year, juniors, seniors, and have high-quality varsity innings and, understand the mindset, everything that it takes to be able to play effectively at this level. And, it's really going to make them that much better next year, I think.
Yeah, Coach Tim Gunn, he says it all the time. We've talked over the last couple of weeks, and he just keeps going on experience. Like these guys, the more reps they can get, the better they're going to be. They're going to be able to handle the bigger moments as these things go on. And certainly excited to see how things play out in the seasons to come for the Aces. All right, I'm sure that the lineup card is going to be getting a workout.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the lineup card is going to get flipped all over the place here. Again, 8-9-1 coming up here for Ridley here in the top of the 7th inning. And now one thing that we are really beginning to see, which you alluded to, Doug, earlier in the game, is now the shadow that's hanging over is really, really prominent, as it's pretty much blocked from, I would say probably about 55 feet here. So you have the pitcher in complete sunlight and the hitter and the catcher in complete shade. Ryan Zilk will lead it off.
So just a quick minute for Zilk here. That was a
first pitch swinging, hits one into left field, and over toward the line to make the catch.
Yeah, nice squeeze there out in left field by Henry Rendell. But I got to tell you, Zilk is a senior and about to serve this country as a U.S. Marine.
Is he?
So
wow.
Tip of the cap to him, and thank you for his future service and making such an awesome commitment.
Absolutely. Here's Matt Millikeev now, takes the first pitch for a ball. Millikeev is a sac bunt, a strikeout looking, and a single on his line today. That one's popped foul.
It's funny with this shadow, you can actually see now with our camera angle screen, he's pitching as far as Whalen goes, nice and bright and in the daylight.
Yeah.
And looks like the Dark Knight Rises from Gotham there in the batter's boxes. It looks like a little bit almost like nighttime.
Another one popped up to the screen, and it's 1-2. Lined right to second base. And that was, I'm not sure what pitch that was. That looked like an ephus.
I was just going to go there.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it, I think.
That looked like an ephus. Hard hit ball there by Millikeev right to the second baseman for the second out of the inning.
Take advantage of their aggressiveness and keep them on their toes.
As we turn the lineup over now, back to the top of the order. Gavin Severa has been on base 4 times today. And do we make that 5? No, they will not say that it hit him, although it came pretty darn close.
It's got to be a lot of pressure. Knowing that you're out there, you've been on base 4 times, teammates are definitely going to ride you a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can't go 4 for 5. You can't go 4 for 5 after reaching base 4 times in a row. That is such a. I wonder what they're calling that pitch. I would probably say that they would call it a breaking ball, but I mean it's just coming in there so slow.
The crafty lefty.
Yeah.
Hypnotize him a little bit, a la former Philly great Jamie Moyer.
Oh, well, if anybody knew how to hypnotize people, it was Jamie Moyer. Probably one of the first pitchers that I've ever seen who just made a living out of throwing some of the softest stuff you'll ever see.
As long as it induces outs, it's all that matters.
Misses way outside and high. I mean, even later in his career when he still had traction, he was, kind of bouncing around with the Rockies and different teams a little bit. He was really only throwing like low 80s and still managing to get outs at the highest level.
It was funny that 20 years in the span of a career, they'd actually said to Moyer, "Hey, do you want to join us as a coach?" And he's like, "No, I'm good." Took the release, and then he went and pitched another 19 years in the big leagues.
Amazing.
Because he didn't have velo.
It's incredible.
Didn't worry about it.
That's now the 5th time that Severa has reached bases. 3rd time doing so on a walk, twice on a 4-pitch walk and once on a hit-by-pitch. And now here's Mike Happersett, who has had himself quite the day on the mound. At the plate, he does have a sacrifice fly that scored a run back in the 1st inning. Aside from that, he's grounded out 3 times. Once into a double play. Here's the pitch. That one misses up and away, 2-0. Now high, 3-0. In danger of now walking back-to-back batters.
Oh, you just got to settle down, take the free pitch, get that nice tempo from a breathing standpoint.
Fastball in there for a strike. Yeah, at this point in the game, this is just one of those situations where you pretty much have to treat this like a bullpen. Mm-hmm. You're just throwing pitches and, just not even really worrying about the batter that's up there. Just throw your pitches, feel it out, do your best to hit your location. And a lot of guys, especially this young, when they're getting these varsity innings in this type of spot, they want to overthink it and think that it's more important than it actually is.
Yeah.
And it puts more pressure on them. Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 3-2.
Battling back, refilling.
3-2, 2-out, runner will be going. Here's a 3-2. And he misses upstairs, ball 4. Now back-to-back walks with 2 out. And that's going to bring up Frank Gallo.
Looks like a courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner for Happersett, who all signs point to him going back out there. There hasn't been a person warming up for Ridley all game long.
No, and I guess they must be receiving some good news that here he's at a 90 pitch count right now.
90.
Yep.
Here's Gallo, who absolutely stung one in a center field his last at-bat that was caught. Takes a first pitch strike. Gallo has doubled, singled twice, and lined out to center. And has also scored multiple runs in the game. He has been a primary catalyst in what has been a very good offensive day for Ridley, and he hits that one kind of soft back towards second base, and an easy play for the second baseman. That'll retire the side. 2 base runners on, but no damage done. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Lower Merion tries to salvage the game as best they can. Now we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning as Ridley has continued to hold their commanding lead over Lower Merion in this game. And Mike Happersett is going back out to the mound, trying to get the complete game. He's only at 90 pitches at the moment. And he has had an absolutely brilliant day. He's had 6 strikeouts. Obviously, he had 1 inning back in the 4th where he had a little bit of trouble with some base runners, the 5th rather, excuse me, but was able to work out of it. And for the most part, all day long, Happersett, as a sophomore, has shown such incredible command, incredible poise, filling up the zone, has to be above 80% first pitch strikes in the game. And even when he's had runners on base, which hasn't been very often, he's done a really good job of working out of it. He's allowed his defense to do work for him. Specifically, the shortstop Jeremy Stranix, who has had quite the fielding display going on over there at shortstop. And I imagine as there's a bit of a deficit to climb here in the bottom of the 7th inning, as Lower Merion and Tim Gunn is going to be allowing some guys to get some at-bats. Leadoff man here in the inning is going to be the number 2 hitter, Elon Tauber. It'll be 2-3-4 coming up here against Happersett, who looks to try to officially close the door. And a kick and a pitch is a fastball that just misses the outside part. Fastball grounded to Gallo, and it takes a tough hop and it gets by him. And Tauber takes a wide turn around first, but the ball does actually go out of play, and that's going to allow him to get to second base here with nobody on, and nobody out in the inning. So what started off looking like as a routine ground ball to first base took a little bit of a tough hop on the field and ate up Gallo and got out of play. And now their leadoff base runner ends up in scoring position. First pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, blocked, no runner advancement. Alex Gibbon, the hitter. He has flown out, walked, and grounded out. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside part of the plate for a strike. Inside. And that makes it 2-1.
Tauber's got to be pretty happy about his performance today. A couple base hits. Nice job in relief pitching. Only had given up 1 run.
Yeah.
So, again, a guy with as a junior, something that they can build on. Something
super
that
versatile.
They can rely on.
Yeah.
Another
Super
great job
versatile.
out in right field.
Here's a 3-1. Ground ball off the ankle. And now full count. Only 2 walks allowed on the day for Happersett. And the pitch is just inside ball 4, and Happersett is very, very clearly and noticeably unhappy about that call.
Well, we know coming into this inning he was at 90 pitches. So
yeah.
I'm sure he was told, you got to stay efficient here. So a pitch like that could cost him another few more pitches.
Well, you can see the head coach, Anthony Monzo, kind of sitting over by the edge of the fence there. I would say the leash here for Happersett is definitely starting to get some slack. Henry Rendell, the sophomore, is going to be the pinch hitter. A little less slack, rather, I should say. Fastball for a strike, 1-0. And right now, the moment that I can always tell when a pitcher is starting to get tired, and I think that's definitely the case for Happersett, is when they begin to miss high. They lose their release point. And that's really what you're seeing. That's a good pitch there that just called outside for a ball. You start to lose your release point. Your arm kind of falls behind a little bit as your body begins to get tired. And that's what we're starting to see a little bit here from Happersett as he approaches 100 pitches. Fastball inside part of the plate, dots it perfectly, and it's 2-2.
Well, this is how you battle back. Looking for a ground ball to turn 2. Maybe help save him a batter.
That one is yanked about as far foul to the left as you can get.
It was at the playground,
Well, now the kids on the swings get a souvenir, and hopefully don't get hit.
Yeah. It's a nice souvenir. 10-10 balls are about $8 a piece.
Oh, yeah. 2-2 to Rendell. Inside, and it hit him. And now bases are going to be loaded.
So, bases loaded, nobody out.
It's a big...
The Aces, they got a full house right now, and they're about to see if they can maybe flush in a couple runs.
Here comes Anthony Monzo, and that's going to be it for Mike Happersett, who, don't get it twisted, had himself a heck of a day competing out there on the mound.
Yeah, tip of the cap to Happersett. Gave every last pitch that he had. Certainly was a big piece of why Ridley is in a position ahead now 6-1. However, don't change that channel. Down 5, nobody out, and the bases are loaded.
New pitcher for Ridley is going to be Jordan Lee, the senior. Number 8 is a two-sport athlete, also plays football. And so at the end of the day, Happersett finishes with the line 6+ innings, 6 strikeouts on his record. Does have 4 walks in the outing, including a hit by pitch. 2 hit by pitches, rather, excuse me. But for the most part, you got to give the kid a lot of credit. I mean, he ran out of gas at the end of the game and, was approaching 100 pitches and was clearly very tired. But for the most part, really, really battled incredibly well all day long.
He trusted his teammates. Wasn't afraid to try to dance around. It saved them pitches. We talked about the efficiency. Yeah. You can only be efficient if you're willing to pitch the contact.
Absolutely.
If you're going to try to dance around and make them chase, that might be good for a couple innings here or there, but you're not getting into the 7th inning. Not in an environment that you're restricted by how many pitches you threw. I guess he finished, I got to say, probably about 115 pitches.
Roughly. Yeah, I think that's about right. And so now, after the pitching change, we are in an incredibly interesting situation. Because as Tim Gunn has pretty much turned over a lot of the lineup card at this point, now there is a bit of an opportunity here for Lower Merion to get back into this game. The hitter at the plate is going to be Danny Hofferman. Bases loaded and nobody out. And a first pitch fastball in there for a strike from Lee.
Well, if you're Lee, that's what you want to do. You're coming in, bases are loaded, no more room at the end, 100 cliches. There's nowhere to put anybody, so you have to pitch the contact, especially with a 5-run lead.
Here's the 0-1. And a good breaking ball.
Oh.
And it's 0-2. A sharp slider right there. When Hofferman had to have been anticipating fastball at that point.
Just dirty.
Here's the 0-2. Another good slider that misses low. And it's 1-2. Fouled off. Another breaking ball there. That's 3 straight now.
Well, after you sit there in a game, and now this is the second matchup for these guys in the season, you got to be thinking like, well, it might have a bit of a book on how he wants to approach him.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they seem to be leaning heavy slider away, which, I mean, makes sense with the second swing, the second pitch you saw how pull happy he was looking. Ground ball to the shortstop. Stranix flipped to second for 1, back to first, and they got him. A big pitch by Jordan Lee turns the double play. 1 run will score, but that takes what could have been a very, very difficult situation to get out of and makes it that much easier, and now Ridley is 1 out away from putting this game away.
Big time, ice in your veins, defensive play, and credit to the relief pitcher coming in and getting them to ground into the DP.
Misses outside. Here's Sam Wright as he looks to try to keep this game alive. Swing and a miss on a good pitch.
Lee, nasty breaking stuff
here. Oh, yeah.
He has these guys super aggressive and a bit over swinging right now.
Good breaking ball hit down to third base. Should be an easy play for him, and he throws it across the diamond. That'll retire the side and end this ball game. It is over as Ridley captures the victory here against Lower Merion. A really good pitching performance by Mike Happerset. Some great offensive performances here in the game. Most notably Gavin Severa, who gets on base 5 times today. Frank Gallo had a good offensive performance, and in the end, Ridley has gotten themselves into the playoffs. And with that being said, we thank you so much for joining us today here at South Ardmore Park at BFA Sports. For my colleague Doug Stasic, I am Keith Jacobs. Thank you again very much and have a great night.